I want to bring in Bonny Lin, director of the China Power Project at CSI. Bonny, thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. I just want to talk to you first, big picture, because the White House, as you know, American officials are very concerned about this meeting. Their concern is that it runs the risk of emboldening Russia, that these two allies will be even closer. What do you see as the biggest concern with this meeting?
So I think there are multiple reasons for why China is or why Xi Jinping is going to Moscow right now. As discussed earlier, one of the reasons is to strengthen the China-Russia relationship. And that relationship is becoming stronger and stronger, particularly as both countries are increasingly viewing the United States as an adversary. On the Ukraine front, there is a real risk that both China and Russia could come from this meeting arguing for a ceasefire. But that ceasefire might not take Ukrainian interests at all into account at all. And it could be a ceasefire that really tries to end the war on Russia's terms. But the act of trying to push for an end to the Ukraine conflict is China's attempt to portray itself as a peacemaker. And it's possible, a peace broker, and it's possible that parts of the international community could buy into that and could be, in other words, not really understanding what role China might actually be playing in the conflict.
And let me follow up with you on that point. Is the goal for China to embolden itself on the world stage? Is that the ultimate thing that China is after here?
I think China definitely is seeking a larger platform, global platform, and also to strengthen its overall relations as well as international influence. What's clear from the Chinese messaging is that Xi's visit to Russia now is the first visit as he secured his third term as president. So it's a very significant first visit abroad. And he's choosing Russia because he views Russia as a clear partner that will support Chinese interests, support Xi's own initiatives, and will likely, from the end of these 3 days, will likely see an outcome that will be beneficial to China strategically.
Our team here at NBC News, Carol Lee, Courtney Cuby, reported last week that the U.S. is really trying to tamp down its rhetoric ahead of this meeting. And also, given that China has been considering whether to give Russia lethal aid, do you think that is the right strategic move for the U.S., or does it carry risks?
So I think the United States has been careful in what we're saying, but we've also been not shy in voicing our concerns, right? As you mentioned, we voiced our concern that China might think about providing Russia with lethal aid. We are voicing concern about the timing of this particular meeting, as well as what the meeting outcomes might mean for the conflict in Ukraine. So I don't think we are being too cautious in our approach towards China or Russia prior to this meeting.
Does the U.S. have any tools in its toolbox right now to counter this, what appears to be growing alliance between China and Russia? I mean, what is your perspective on what next steps should look like?
Sure. So we have, I think, two really powerful tools. One is our allies and partners. So China, even if it has a strong relationship with Russia, is very cognizant that it can't lose Europe in the process, right? So that's why China has tried to straddle its position on Ukraine for so long, making it appear like China hasn't taken a side between Russia and Ukraine. The other thing that we have on our side is also the power and threat of economic sanctions. My understanding is, to date, one of the reasons why China has not provided lethal aid to Russia is because of both the fear of negative reactions from Europe, international community broadly, but also the potential impact of U.S. economic sanctions on China should China provide lethal aid.
And Bonny, just very quickly, obviously the big news at the end of last week was that the ICC essentially waged this indictment against Vladimir Putin for war crimes. How might that factor into the meetings that are going to be taking place over the next several days here between China and Russia?
To be frank, I don't think China factors that into account, right? China is viewing this as an international organization that it's not part of, criticizing Russia or criticizing Putin. So from its perspective, it's an outside organization trying to damage Putin, a close friend of Xi Jinping, and she has made it clear. So, if anything, what we're likely to see is this designation of Putin further move the two sides closer together, as both are now increasing viewing the other as being labeled and judged inappropriately from their perspective from the international community.
All right, Bonny Lin, thank you so much from the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Really appreciate your perspective on this critical day.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.